Hello everyone, it's May 2nd of 2010, and you're actually going to see this video today. I'm going to go ahead and upload it, just to throw my view into the mix of everything. Hopefully I can figure it out. Actually, my first story is, I did something stupid last night. There was this pallet, there was this huge piece of wood sticking out from underneath it. And so I was having one of our new guys, I was having him jack up the pallet, and I'd kicked the wood a couple times just to try to get it loose because it was stuck under there, real weird. So I just thought to myself, I'm going to kick it one last time. Just famous last words, right? I'm going to give it one last good kick and try to break that sucker loose. And I did. And that's when I remembered I don't have steel-toed shoes anymore. So, ow. It still hurts a little bit it just kind of feels like it needs a really good pop, you know? I went in the back and I sat down. I found an out-of-the-way place so that nobody had to smell my feet, and I took my shoes off. I'm going to plug this in because it says I have 5 minutes left. And you may have to see the side of me for a second, or my arm or something. As you know you have to do when I plug this shite in. There we go. Yeah. I don't know, it said something about an AC adapter. But yeah, it actually felt like my foot went through the wood. I think the wood split or something, and my foot actually went through the wood. I don't know. It was... But yeah, that was and we had our, some people had grassroots meetings last night. It got down to, we were already shorthanded on the grocery side anyway. I just found a spot that didn't feel good. Yeah, here we go. The grassroots meetings are basically you go in and tell him, what you feel are issues with the store, and he doesn't listen to you because he doesn't give a shit. But he sits there and shakes his head and looks really concerned. So, Drew and one of the other guys had to go to the meeting because they're not going to be there Tuesday, and that's when he's going to do the next round of meetings, is Tuesday. And it got to where I was down stacking the pallets by 7, and Pam was down stacking the pallets down by the deli. So there was one of us working on each thing. And then I had the misfortune of going down aisle 5, and there was an evening associate that apparently a customer had broken a thing of... I never put a note about that anywhere because I was just trying to get it cleaned up and out of the way. I was going to write the UPC on a piece of cardboard. I'll try to remember to do that tonight. But she was like, she's like, can you clean this up for me? It's time for me to go. It's the end of my shift. And I was like, really? Okay, I'll clean it up. Whatever. I doubt I get any thanks in the meeting for it, or even really, I wasn't really responsive to her. I'm like, okay, let me go get a bag, because I was just like, seriously? I'm not busy, I don't have shit to do, it's just, I don't know, that's one of those things. Not everybody has that mentality, but it seems like a lot of people have that mentality around there. That it's just well, it's too much, unless you work overnights, and then basically you have to clean up everything before you leave, but whatever, that shit wouldn't fly, some day crew associate came in, some morning crew associate, and you're like, oh, I have to go, and I understand, there's not supposed to be overtime, but just clean it up, cut 5 minutes off your, spend an extra 5 minutes on your lunch break tomorrow, It's just whatever. But as I was sitting there cleaning that up, a customer came up to me, and he wanted to know where the American flags were. And he's like, well, I'm sure you've heard. And I was like, no. And I was thinking something bad, and to some people, I guess it might be. But he was like, well, I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but he's like, we killed, Bin Laden's dead. We killed him. And apparently somebody actually even called the store. One of the cashiers up front said that she got a call. Like, that's the only reason they called the store. They didn't have a question. They didn't want anything. They're like, I just wanted to make sure you all knew that Osama Bin Laden was dead. And I was like, that's okay. So, I had to think for a minute. I finally remembered we have them over by a weird location. They're over by, like, the pencils and stuff, the poster board and all that. I don't know why they're there. Like, the flagpoles and stuff are there, too. I don't know why it's over there with, like, the art supplies and stuff. That's weird. But, so then after I was done cleaning up the floor, I went up front and washed my hands. And since I was already halfway over there because everybody was in the meeting, or I had no idea who was and who wasn't in the meeting, I'm like, there might not be anybody over there to help that guy at all. Because I assumed there'd have to be somebody in, like, furniture or electronics or something. And I got to thinking while I was washing my hands, I'm like, I bet there's nobody over there. So I went over there real quick and I found him. I actually almost ran right into him, and he had a flag in his hands. So he got his flag, and he's going to take it home and wave it. But actually, like, my foot is not, it's like right here. When I rub this part right here, that's the part that's really, it's not swollen. It wasn't bleeding or anything, so I figured I was good. But, yeah, I'm sorry if my foot looks gross. They just look gross. If you're not a foot person, you probably should have turned away from that. But, anyway, my thoughts on the whole Osama Bin Laden being dead thing. My first question is, why isn't anyone questioning this? For one thing. Like, I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but it just seems like you've been looking for this guy, and I understand, like, maybe you have to stay covert, and you can't be like, oh, we're close, but it's just like, all of a sudden, he's dead, it's just, like, we've been looking for him for how long, and it just happens to be, like, 10 years later, or, well, I guess it's not like it's, September 11th or anything. I guess, that's just a little bit too, apropos, a little too poetic, however you want to say that. But I'm like, are we sure this really happened? And then I looked it up when I got home today, and it's just like, it apparently happened within 40 minutes. They shot him in the head, and then they gave him a burial at sea. And I'm like, so who actually witnessed this, like, happen? The people who apparently shot him. And, like, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying, I don't know. That's just kind of weird to me, that it's just like, all of a sudden, Obama's approval ratings are, so it's just like, well, what can I do? I don't know. It just seems a little weird to me for just all of a sudden to happen like that, and I guess with it being covert, and something that they can't really release the information to the public. I guess that's how we're going to find out, is just all of a sudden, And I mean, maybe it wasn't all of a sudden. I mean, I was at work all night last night. I can't remember when that guy actually came in. It would have been 11 o'clock or something. I don't know. But, I guess that's kind of always been their thing, is like, we can't really talk about it, because if we talk about it, then they're going to find out about it, and we're not going to get our chance to take him out, And if it did happen, I can understand. I can understand how some people are concerned about it, about this being, about there being retaliation for this, and I don't doubt that they're going to try. I'm hoping that our forces can, root out the evil, or however you want to say it. Hopefully smoke that shit out before it becomes an issue. I mean, I know they have a vast, network of stuff, of different people and different, stuff. I mean, they might still have sleeper agents here in America, for all we know, that are still sleeping, until now, you know. I mean, I don't really know for that. I just know that the world is a better place without one more bad person in it. You know, I have no sympathy for the man. As far as I'm concerned, killing someone who kills innocent people is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. I've seen some people, you know, I guess maybe it is weird to be joyous over a death, you know, but it's no less than what they did after they killed a bunch of innocent people by flying planes into our buildings, you know. It like they were celebrating in their streets, you know, I'm sure of it. So there's absolutely no reason they shouldn't get a taste of their own medicine right back at them. Because, I mean, I don't have sympathy for bad people. You know, people who are going to hurt innocent people. Oh, the Al-Qaeda's coming after me for saying this. And they want money. Oh, no. You know, I don't have sympathy for anyone who's going to hurt innocent people and continue to do so. Like that, I always hated that line. I always hated that line in those superhero movies and all that shit where they're like, oh, if you kill him, that makes you no better than he is. As a kid, I understood that was bullshit because you're getting rid of someone, you're killing someone who will continue to go on and kill innocent people who don't deserve it. Well, guess what? That's someone who deserves to die. You know, this is my vlog. That's my opinion. If you don't like it, I mean, you can disagree with me. That's fine. But I don't see anything wrong with getting rid of bad people who are going to continue to hurt people that don't deserve it. Because they themselves do deserve it, as far as I'm concerned. So, that's the way, you know, I always hated that. I always hated that. A bad person who is doing bad things to innocent people and doesn't care shouldn't continue to hurt innocent people without repercussion themselves, is the way that I feel. And if that means taking their life, I am fine with that. You know, I should, you know, maybe I have roots in Texas. I don't know. But it's just, it's bad people, they don't deserve to share my earth and my air, and they need to get off of it right now. That's what I'm saying. So, anyway, after that, I might be saying goodbye to some of my subscribers. I don't know. You know, if you want to disagree with me, that's fine. But that's the way I feel. So that's just what I'm telling you right now. And I don't really have a good way to end this vlog, so it's probably already long enough as it is. So I'm just going to end it, and I say we won one for America today. So, or last night, assuming it actually happened.